Hey, QED Coders, this is Michael. And checking, yes, the audio is good. And looking to see if anybody's going to be joining us today. So, we are talking about historical modeling, immutable architecture, Janaga, all of the things that make distributed systems a lot more provable and a lot more fun, I gotta admit. So, if you want to join us in this discussion, go to immutablearchitecture.com. I try to remember which of my various sites I've got the link to. But yeah, at immutablearchitecture.com, you will find a link to the Discord. You can join us and talk to us every Thursday morning at 1400 UTC. And we will explore the application of immutability and rigorous mathematics to creating correct distributed systems. And then usually we have Jan joining us this morning, and it looks like he is here.
Yes, Michael. I'm
Good
there.
afternoon. How do you do, Jan?
Good afternoon. How are you?
Very good. Very good. That was quite the entrance.
That was quite.
Quite the entrance.
Oh,
Yeah, I was just setting things up, and then here you are.
yeah. No, sorry for last
Mm-hmm.
week, but somebody somebody scheduled something else for me. I said to my wife, I said, look, that's the past 10 years on Thursday. It's Michael.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I forgot about it. Sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, indeed. Well, I don't know that it's been 10 years, but it's certainly been a long time.
I haven't counted, but
Yeah,
it's a long time.
yeah.
Anyway, the first time I looked to historical modeling, I think it's more than 10 years.
Yeah, yeah. I remember you reached out to me and you said
Mhm.
you've got all this stuff. I yeah, I would love to see one place where it's all put together.
Mhm.
And I said, yeah, you're right. And that was before the book.
That was long before the book.
Uh-huh.
No, that time I thought, okay, that's the technology I need, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
still convinced about that. Um, but every time I'm running into new trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Well, do you have some trouble that you want to go through today?
well, yeah, yeah. So, 14 days ago we discussed. Right, let me share that screen. Oh, we have ding
Uh,
dong. That means a
uh,
visitor.
no, that's Zoom starting up. Sorry.
Okay. Um, Let me see. That's just Michael.text with an underscore, so it's always on top of everything.
Okay.
It's always top of the list. Why don't I see? Oh, I can. Yeah, I see it. I'll put it here. So last time we discussed about the fact that in the user interface, um, wait, let's go over it. DBS console, start that one up. So OS opdracht. Let me share that one. That's gonna be move that one back to the top. Where is my DBS now? Where is it? Here. Okay. You see
There
that
we are.
small screen?
Yes, I do.
So that's the way it is implemented today.
Mm-hmm.
So here we could just select a customer. We have a yard, and this is to make a task. So if I click here, save,
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna save a task. I could just change that
Mm-hmm.
in whatever I want. I could change that. I could change that. Yeah.
Yes.
But so we don't change the lookup files. The lookup files are completely independent. They are not updated. Records are not added.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So
That
what
just
we
changes
wanted to
that
do
information in the task.
in the task, what we wanted to do is have these lookup files be referenced all the time. So a task is referencing to the lookup files
Mm-hmm.
for customers, for yards, and so on. And so if a technician adds a client or adds a yard, it will be added in that lookup file. If he
Mm-hmm.
modifies something, if he deletes something, it should be in the lookup file.
Yes.
Here we got this flag by the dispatcher so that it will be only final once the dispatcher approves it.
Yes.
The problem that we had last 2 weeks ago was that this user interface that we copied into DWS
Mm-hmm.
was not really telling the user what's going on. So if he's just changing here the name a little bit, is he creating a new customer? Is he modifying the customer? What is happening behind the screens?
Yeah.
So
Yep.
there
Not clear.
you had the idea to make it more formal, more
Mm-hmm.
clear, and to add, for example, here in this on this customer, to add an add button and a modify button,
Right.
and do the same for the work for the yard, add,
Mm-hmm.
modify. But we also have the relation that has to be added.
Yes.
So then let's go. Let me show you something else. Wait, where is now is okay. Don't laugh when you see this one. That
All right.
was software I wrote last century. So it's taking. Oh yeah, wait. I will first open this one, then we have the correct window. Now it's okay. So
Yeah.
this is my inspection software. This is software that allows my customer to inspect weighing scales,
Weighing scales. Okay.
soft
Yes.
weighing equipment. So that's a software which I wrote I started in 1999.
Mm-hmm.
Visual Basic 6, still updated today. And here I have, this is the client,
Mm-hmm.
and this is the weighing equipment. Yeah.
Okay.
So I remember in 1999 I had a lot of trouble before I came to this screen. But 25 years, customers are still happy with it. So first of all, here, there is not much in, but so you can select your customers here.
Uh-huh.
So I select this customer, and immediately I get the first weighing scale.
Yeah.
But if I click on it, I see the serial number of a number of weighing scales
Okay.
for that customer. So I only see what belongs to that customer.
Mm-hmm.
I can
Yeah.
select one, and automatically it will give all the details here
Yes.
for that weighing scale belong to that customer. Now I can add, for example, a customer Michael. I can add a street, a place, a TVA number, and I can do save.
Mm-hmm.
And then if I go and see there are no scales for Michael, I can add a first one with all the
Yeah.
details. I can add a second one, and so on.
All in the same
And so
dialogue. Yeah. I
I
can see why
see
people.
I
Oh.
have two scales here for Michael.
Oh, but it popped up the scales not belonging to Michael.
Yeah.
That's
Look,
that's
if I
just a bug.
select somebody here, I see only the scales
Uh-huh.
for that particular customer. Yeah, you see?
Yeah.
I select one, I reselect now,
Oh.
I see all the scales.
Interesting bug. Yeah.
No, it's not a bug.
Oh, it's not a bug. That's intended?
It's just a feature. It's a
Oh,
feature.
okay.
It's a feature. No, there is still a bug in it, which they discovered 2 weeks ago. That's another thing. But that's a very simple one. So if I go here, I say Michael. I click the first time. I only see the two of Michael.
Yeah.
Select one. I go again, and I see everything. Why is that interesting? Because it allows me to search by serial number.
Oh, okay. And then when you select, it selects
Yeah.
the client as well.
And if I just do, for example, I typed F now,
Mm-hmm.
it will select here Michael.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. For example, if I type a T, no, yeah, no, it wait. For example, if I select this one, yeah, F Michael T,
Yeah.
yeah, I type
And then
T,
it
he go
selects the
to
client. Okay.
test, and he selects the customer who corresponds.
Uh-huh.
But to be honest, don't tell it to my customers, but behind it's a real mess to make all that work. I don't know how many nights
Yeah.
I spent on that to make it work, but that was long before all these MVVM things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure whether I could do it better with MVVM, but uh,
Yeah.
it should be better with MVVM.
Yeah. MVVM would basically just split the mess. You got a messy view and a
Yeah,
messy view model.
yeah, but this is really a mess to make this work.
Mm.
But it does work. But so we can add, we can update, we can delete, and we can even copy an existing type. Yeah, if, for
Mm-hmm.
example, I say I select Michael, and I only have these two weighting scales. I say I want a specific type of weight scale, which already special serial
Okay.
number,
Yeah.
which already exists for another customer.
Yeah.
So select, and I enter a new serial number here, and you have that type. So now Michael has 3 weight scales.
Mm-hmm.
But then I say, okay, we are 25 years or 26 years further. That's what I need.
Mm-hmm.
But not exactly. Let's
Yeah.
go back
There
to,
is a lot happening all on one page, that's for sure.
yeah. But apparently, wait, I stopped. Okay. Now I need the text file here. Michael.txt. But customer seems to find their way without problems in that screen.
Hmm.
So that seems to work. They never call me. Why is it? How do I do something? Why is it not working? If they call me, it's to order points to use the software. So that's good news.
Oh, yeah.
So we have clients. For the clients, I should have an add button for everybody, technician, dispatcher.
Mm-hmm.
Add will items added by a technician can be visible for everybody, but they will be marked in a warning color until approved by the dispatcher. Yeah, remember
Yeah.
we discussed many times about this, but I think the final idea was that when multiple technicians go to the same place,
Mm-hmm.
if we reserve a modification by a technician only for himself, then every
Yeah.
technician at that place has to do that modification.
Right. And you get all these
So
copies, and then, yeah, you
yeah,
have to
so I
merge
think
one or,
finally
yeah.
it's better a technician adds somebody, a customer, that customer shows up in everybody's copy,
Mm-hmm.
but it has a warning color. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is displayed in green or whatever, or in yellow or orange, until approved by the dispatcher.
Right. Right. And so that's just for add, I see.
Yeah,
If you were
that's for add.
to if you were to update,
Yeah.
then the rule
Wait,
is
wait.
different. Okay, we'll get there.
Let's start. I put it in the wrong order, but imagine delete. We
Okay.
delete a customer. First, I thought we don't let the technicians do that, but why not? Let them do that.
Yeah.
We use the same system, but the item deleted will still be visible for everybody,
Hmm.
but again in a warning color.
Got it. Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so they can see that somebody else deleted this one, so they
Deleted
don't have
this.
to delete it
So,
themselves. They just say, "Oh, okay,
well,
I'll ignore this until
before
it's
they use
approved."
it, if they want to use it,
Mm.
they say, that's strange, it has been deleted. They can still use it.
Yeah. Right. Okay,
They can
that
still
makes
use
a lot
it.
of sense. Yes.
But it's a matter of be careful, somebody deleted it. Probably there is something wrong with it.
Yeah. Okay.
And they are not going to delete it themselves.
Got it. Yeah.
But then the third one, update. So there will be a new version
Hmm.
that we show immediately to all the technicians. But we should also show the old version.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there should be a link between the two.
Uh huh.
Look, the, the technicians, they can choose for the old or the new version.
Okay. So to the
um,
technician, does it look like it's two clients, or does it look like it's one client and here's old, here's new, but you select just that one?
uh,
Or maybe we'll get into that
well,
when we look at the form.
well, for me, it's not just a DWS problem. I think this will be a general problem that everybody's using.
Mm.
You don't have this problem in normal database
Mm-hmm.
operations because you don't keep history.
Yeah.
The moment that you keep history, you get this type of problem. So I think uh, every user of Jinaga
Mm.
will sooner or later. So
Yeah.
I think it's worth. I think
Yeah.
it's worth coming up with a solution. Um,
Yep. Yep. Give them a pattern. Say, okay, this is what's going to
yeah.
happen. Here's what we
So
suggest.
for add and delete, I think I found a reasonable pattern. For
Mm-hmm.
update, not yet.
Yeah.
For yards, let's continue the list. For yards, so for the relationship, it's quite easy. We do like we did in Navis, the inspection software.
Mm-hmm.
If you add something, it uses the selected client. So you first add the client and then you add the yard.
Makes
And
sense.
because on the screen you first have the client and then the yard, I think it's quite obvious.
Mm-hmm.
And so an item added by a technician, same thing as for the clients. Delete. Delete will be a bigger problem because there is a yard
Mm.
client delete and there is a yard delete.
Mm. Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
what does the user want to do? Does he want to delete the relationship between the two? Or does he say, no, this yard doesn't exist anymore? It has to be removed from all, because we had one yard could have multiple clients.
Mm.
So there already we have a little problem. For the update, exactly the same problem as for clients.
Mm-hmm.
Then I was thinking perhaps we are going too far because I said 1 yard in the original DWS. You have one client, 1 yard.
Right.
Here, the model we made it that work on a certain yard could be paid by different clients. So we said, okay, let's have yard clients.
Right. Right.
So if we would keep it simple by limiting us to 1 yard, one client, But even then, the model cannot enforce it.
Right.
Yeah, so
Yeah. Unless it's strict ownership, then
in reality, that doesn't help. And then for the relationship, so the first thing, how to edit, we already found a solution. But then if we need to change a relationship, I would suggest moving an existing yard to a new client. We don't allow it.
Hmm.
In that case, what they have to do is just select or create a new client and create a new yard for that client.
Right. And so now you lose that history of what happened on that yard if the yard were to change hands.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's a good one. That's a good
Yeah.
one.
Yeah. I think that was the original
Mm-hmm.
use case that kind of led to this. So yeah, my question to you would be: how often does that happen, and how important is that? Um, and would there
Oh,
be an alternative implementation where you kind of bake that history, um, put that into some other form, and then you can just audit it. You can see it, but can't do anything with it.
hmm. There's a question is,
Yeah.
what are we? There's still the distinction between a technician and a dispatcher. Yeah, so we can limit the manipulations for a technician.
Mm-hmm.
Worst case, for these complicated things, technician just has to call the dispatcher to do it for him.
Yeah.
But if he has to call, the dispatcher might not be available.
Mm-hmm.
If he can, the worst thing is that he is stuck and that he cannot continue his work.
Right. Yeah, and yeah, I don't think that funneling the this kind of change through a specific type of user is is truly going to solve the problem. We still have to solve it for the dispatcher.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, but
but they
dispatcher
can approve things. That's
dispatcher
it. Yeah.
is somebody with more experience in the software.
Okay.
He will be working longer with it. He will use it much more
Mm-hmm.
for this type of operation. So, um,
Yeah. So, um, yeah, a new pattern came to mind for maintaining the history. If the same physical yard moves from one client to another, then within the model, then in order to have that strict ownership, the client owns the yard. It would be a brand new yard fact in the model. However, what if that new yard fact had another predecessor that said, this is the yard from which this was copied? And now it points back to the yard that's over in a different client, um, and then when you present the history, you can say you can union the history of those two yards, or actually follow the entire chain, union the history of all the yards if you want.
yeah. Um, but we are risking. Oh, wait, let me. I can draw on this. I think no. With Zoom. Yes, I can.
Okay, yeah, that's there you
Um,
are.
yeah, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
With a mouse, it's never easy. So
Yeah,
this is a yard.
yeah,
This is client one. And here, let's say I have client two.
yeah.
So we have here yard client.
Mm-hmm.
between these two. We have another, yard client here, which goes to there.
Yes. That's the current
So
model.
that's the current model.
Yep.
And so now imagine that we say we want to move an existing yard to a new client.
Mm-hmm.
So we have client 3. For example, we move it from C1 to C3. So what I was proposing here was, so again, yard client, and that goes to there. But then in fact, we should also delete this one.
Mm-hmm.
But there is still C2 here.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So the model's not enforcing the one-to-one, but that's what you want.
yeah.
And yeah,
Oh,
one way to make it a little
no,
bit stronger. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
no, I'm wrong. Wait, because that toolbar is. Oh no, I cannot move it already. So move to a new client instead. Create a new yard. Oh, I said here create a new yard, not a new yard client.
Right, because
Why was that?
I think for that you are you're thinking about reversing this yard client decision and going back to where the yard had one predecessor client. So a yard
Yeah.
was strictly owned by that client.
Because it should be this, because the history of the yard
Mm-hmm.
is here. Because
Yeah.
if I create a second yard here and I make a link yard client to C3,
Yeah.
then they are completely independent.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah, it sounds like you're trying to solve one problem that when you select a yard, you know specifically which client it belongs to, and there's no ambiguity. And so to solve that problem, having a successor is what makes it ambiguous. So I think if you want to solve that problem, then you need to go back to the yard has a predecessor client, and then we can solve the history problem in a different way.
Yard has a predecessor client.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me do a quick share and see if I can.
If I stop this share.
Shouldn't need to stop it, but
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, so I will use GraphViz. So we're gonna do a new. This is gonna be a dot file. Boop. Okay. So digraph ranker top to bottom. So then let's open that preview. Boom. Okay, so we've got client 1, client 2, and we are talking about well, we'll change the names a little bit so that we don't okay. So if we go back to the model where a yard belongs to a client, so we have this yard client, bottom to top, sorry. There we go. So that yard belongs to that client, and so now when you select that yard, you know specifically which client you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that that now shows two different yards, two different clients. Now, what if you want yard A to move to client 2? So let me call this A1 because now we're going to introduce a different fact altogether. So we'll have yard A2 goes to client 2, and you really want yard A2 to represent the same physical location as yard A1. It's a brand new fact because it's a new client and predecessors are part of the identity, but you want that that relationship. So if we also say yard A1 or A2 has a predecessor reference to A1, so this could be something similar to the prior pattern for mutable properties, but prior is not exactly the same name, the right thing. So, yeah, maybe I'll call it past. So, so now any history that you want to show on yard A2, you would perform that same, that same specification against yard A1, and you would union all those history of results.
Okay.
And in fact, I don't want that to be a star. That should be a question. So, so there's only one past yard, but then that one might have a past yard and going back in time, various clients.
So we can keep history, and here we enforce to have just one client per yard.
Yes.
We should stick to that.
Yeah, I think that ends up with an easier model. It supports the kind of user interface that you want to present, and it does complicate any of the specifications or any of the view models really that look for history. But yeah, you can do that with a couple of specifications. Now that presents an interesting problem. I think this is the first time that I really want a friend of the friend type of query in Janaga specifications, and yeah, that is currently not supported. I wonder if I could support it. Yeah, I'll have to think through that.
What is not supported? The fact that you...
Yeah, basically this this recursive recursive predecessor relationship. But yeah, this does bring to mind another another option which would be supported. So yeah, first of all, the thing is that you want to write a specification that that finds all of these yards going, just following this chain all the way back. So does the closure over these predecessors. So I'm starting from yard A2 and I want to find yard A1, and then I want to look to see if yard A1 has any past yards and then include those, and so on and so on.
Yeah, there we are, recursive.
Yep. Yep, and you cannot express that in a Janaga specification. If I were to think
that was the
through
surprise for today.
yeah. If I were to think through it, I would probably find a good reason why you shouldn't do that in a Janaga specification. But it is something that might come up, so I'll give that some thought. In the meantime, here's another option. So let's talk about locations. So we'll call this location A and location B. And so Now, here's the trick. A yard is yeah, it's going to look like that, and we won't have that. Okay. So let's see if that makes sense. Okay. So a yard is a lot, or we'll say it's an economic idea. It's the idea that a client has some property. The location is a physical idea, a geographic idea. That it is the that physical space where the work happens. So when the location changes hands, you produce a new yard, but the location stays the same.
Yeah.
Is this really just this is yeah this is really just client yard under different names? Okay, this isn't a new idea. This is where we are right now. Okay, yeah. If you
No,
were
but
instead to call this yard and this client yard, that's precisely where we are.
yeah, then we are
Okay.
back to
Okay. Hey, I
uh,
was yeah. So the
that,
idea is that
that's almost politics. The
yeah.
same thing in another package.
Yeah. Well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very true. Okay. Okay. So yeah, let's go back to this idea and yeah, open that to the side there. Yeah, and then we can think about how to support that. By combining the two ideas, we can support it. It's a little strange. So, yeah, what I mean by combining the two ideas. So let's bring in location again. So we've got location A, location B. But now, when I say that yard A is related to location A and yard B, location B, that's location A. So when I say that, I am still okay. I think this is getting closer. I'm still capturing all the history at the yard level. So you select a yard, you know which client you're talking about, and all the properties of the yard are kept at the yard. But then when we do work, we keep that work at the location level. And then from the selected yard, we can go up to the location and see all the history. So this collects the history under one predecessor, the location. It's a compromise. It mixes the two. You can choose what should be a yard attribute and what should be a location attribute.
Yeah.
But again, you can get here by just changing the names and make that yard and make that client yard. So we're just adding the past predecessor to client yard.
So client yard becomes a property which is mutable.
Yeah. Okay. Let's. Yeah. I think you're right. Yard. I'm going to change that to client yard. Let's actually change the names, and then location, that becomes yard. Boom. Okay. So this should be where we are today, where you've got client yard. And then, so we're adding that relationship. If we wanted it to be the full mutable property pattern, it would look like this. Instead of a question mark, that would be an asterisk. So we would allow multiples. And the reason that we would allow multiples is so that you can merge. I don't know if merging is an important feature here. I mean, yeah, either way, whether it's a question or a star, you could still get to the point where you've got multiple client yards for the same yard. Because ultimately what you want to do is, given a yard, which is the one client that it belongs to. So in this case, you would look for these client yard successors where not exists a next one. So this one disqualifies that one. So that's the only one where there does not exist a successor. And so then you'd find the client. So you say, yep, yard A belongs to client 2. Check. But that doesn't disqualify you from having the good old concurrent edit. So here's A3. Yeah, let's say that A3, you say this is completely different. Yeah, let's pop that over there again. So, yeah, it's starting to get ugly. Yeah, so now if I'm looking at yard A and trying to figure out who does it belong to, I see client yard A1, A2, and A3. That one's disqualified because it has successors. But these two are valid. And so you would say, oh, it belongs to either client 2 or client 3. Or both. Who knows? And then having the star lets you merge that. So once somebody recognizes that pattern, they can say, oh, it's actually the combination. Let's add another one down here that merges them back together. Yeah. Yeah, so full mutable property pattern. So in the book when I use mutable property to refer to entities like this, I call that the entity reference pattern. But yeah, it's the same pattern. It's just you're not talking about a value. You're talking about that relationship.
If I don't merge them, I can have multiple clients for a yard, which complicates the user interface.
Yeah. Yes, it does. So yeah, I think ultimately, I would recommend back to the simple model of that. So a yard belongs to exactly one client, no ambiguity, and then we've got this pointer back through history, so that you can go back in time and gather that history if you choose to. Then we'll just have to figure out how to take care of that pesky recursive specification.
Because that's a reasonable model. So with that, move existing yard to new client. Yes. So instead of selecting select a new client and create a new, or the existing client, we create a new yard and we point it to the previous one, the past one.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, I think so. Keep the things that happen all the time simple, and then the things that happen infrequently, those can get a little bit more complicated. So it seems to me, you can tell me if I'm wrong here, that a yard changing hands is infrequent, and over the lifetime of a yard, it won't belong to very many clients.
Which is true.
So yeah, then I think this has the right balance to it.
if we then, so for the relationship, that's fine then. If you go back to the update, so add and delete, that was clear.
Mm-hmm.
We marked them. But if we have somewhere a property that we update, where the other technicians
Mm-hmm.
should probably see the new property and the old one, and if possible also see that the new one is a modification of the old one, a proposed modification but not approved.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
concrete. You have a yard. A yard has a street and a house number, and the house number seems to be incorrect. So
Mm-hmm.
one of the technicians modified, update the house number,
Mm-hmm.
but perhaps he he was wrong. There were two accesses, or for one or the other reason. So the other technicians should still be able to select the old one or select the new one.
Yeah. 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 So now that gets back to what's the user interface for selecting a yard and its subsequent properties. So does it look to the user like two separate yards in the list, but behind the scenes selecting either one of those items is going to select the same yard? Or does it look like they select one yard, but they see a little warning symbol? There's something different here, and then after they select it, they can see these are the differences and pick which one. Or maybe they don't even have to pick which one because they're not the dispatcher. They're not going to be resolving the issue. They just say, "Yep, it might have one of these two addresses."
In fact, yes, because the dispatcher will select the valid one,
Mm-hmm.
and that will be the final one. So the merge, no, the selection goes to the yard and not to his properties.
Yeah.
In this case.
Yep. Yeah, I think that's right.
So perhaps what we could do there is a little bit like notes in Excel. You have a cell, and you can add a note behind it,
Mm-hmm.
where the corner of the cell becomes the colored triangle.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the moment that you hover over it with your cursor, it will display the note.
Yeah.
Something in that sense.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Or like these error warning triangles that show up. You show up just a little icon, be careful. And if you hover over it, you see what is the issue.
Right.
Okay, that's a... so he doesn't choose. It's not choose. He sees...
I think you stop sharing if you want us to see the list where you're typing.
well, yeah, I stopped sharing
Okay.
that, but I can share it again. I was just writing it down for
Okay.
for
Yeah, that's
myself,
fine.
because otherwise he does not choose. He sees, for example, the original value with an icon next to it, showing the new value when hovering, something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's not bad.
Yeah. I think we've simplified the model and
add, update, delete. There we still have one. So for this delete, what does that do in the new model?
Hmm.
Oh, it's not a problem, because we only have now one client for a yard.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So if we delete the yard, then the relationship will be gone.
Mm-hmm.
Was that? So we had a client, we had a yard, we had another client 1, client 2. Were you still sharing?
I started sharing again. Yeah, so I'm sharing now.
Because I don't see it until I stop sharing, I think.
Oh,
Wait,
okay.
I stop share. Yeah, okay.
Okay.
So now if we delete a yard,
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, so here I
I mean,
put,
for a yard, that would be, how can you delete a yard unless, okay, the ground has been sold to construct something, a building.
mm-hmm.
But for example, in the weighing inspection system, a weight scale has been damaged and it is old, it is thrown away.
Yeah. And there you've got
So
the
there,
serial number.
yeah,
So that serial number means that scale. And yeah, if it's damaged and thrown away, that serial number is not going to be reused.
yeah. But so if we reason with a scale can also be sold to a different customer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So here we have a scale. We can, just the delete flag then.
Yeah, if we say this happens, let's just focus on this one here. So in order to delete yard A, yeah, it happens. Yeah, let's suppose that yard A started out belonging to client 1, and then it changed hands. Now it belongs to client 2, and then we delete it. So we'll put the delete fact on the most recent one. So we'll put that on yard A2. And so now it's gone. We won't show yard A1 anymore because it has a successor.
Mm-hmm. But so that means we need recursion in the opposite direction as well to see, for example, yard 1, is it deleted or not?
Yeah. Yeah, I think there we are, we're using not exists twice. So where there does not exist a yard with a past reference back to me, and there does not exist a yard delete with the yard reference back to me. So with this, with this scenario, both of these would be excluded from the list. If we didn't have the yard
Yeah.
A delete, then only yard A2 would show up in the list because it supersedes yard A1.
Yeah, but does not exist. For example, if there would be a yard A3, changes hand again, then you need to do not exist, and then
Yeah, so that talks to that one. Yeah, so we have deleted yard A2, but then also A2 changed hands to yard or to client 3. So
and
yeah,
and here normally we would delete yard A3 then because that's the most recent.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
so
but if we
to
didn't,
to find that yard A is deleted, you need to
Yeah.
go through the past 3 times.
Yeah. Yeah, if we wanted the rule to be that if you delete at any point in the past, then this is deleted, which seems like a reasonable rule. But yeah, it's also one that can't currently be supported. You could write a series of conditions within your specification that go one more step back in time, but the specification would have a limit. But if you don't have if you don't have that rule, but instead the rule is that you list only the things that have not been superseded by this past relationship and things that have not been deleted, then yard A3 will show up in the list. And then you'll just have to correct that by having a delete on this one.
Okay. Yeah, because you could have the 2 facts at the same time coming from a different user.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. One of them says, "Oh, yeah, this one's gone," and the other one says, "Wait, no, it's actually been sold." And in this case, the one that says it's been sold wins, because now this shows up and it looks exactly the same as if this didn't occur.
Okay, yeah. Because this one is still, a delete is still going to be shown with a warning, but it will disappear because there is this past link.
Oh, okay, right, yeah. Yeah, so now you're talking about if this delete has not yet been um, approved. So
Yeah.
so yeah, this comes from one of the workers, not the dispatcher. So yeah, that would still show up until you do this, and then it would.
Mm.
Yeah, unless you want the warning rule to apply um, to this relationship as well. So if a worker says this changed hands, maybe that was a mistake, and you want that to say, well, it still could be this yard that you're talking about, or it could be that yard you're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that's because in fact that's a modification.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this should, yeah, the past should show up as well as a modification.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Okay, which doesn't complicate things too much. That kind of makes sense. Okay.
Because you added a yard.
Yeah.
If you add a yard, it will be marked
Yeah, that one will be marked.
in a warning color.
Yeah. And that one will still appear in the list and it will be marked. So you'll have two. It's like, I don't know which one. You have to pick, but yeah, now whichever one you pick, it might be wrong.
Is it important which one they pick at that moment?
It will be in this case because there will be attaching work to one of these two facts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing is simple.
No. No. If they pick the old one, then attaching work to this one, it still shows up in the history. But it looks like it was done before the yard changed hands. But if they attach work to this one, and then this one is not approved, and it's say deleted or something, then it's then there's a problem. But okay, so things to noodle over for a bit.
Yeah. I'm wondering how that's gonna work out in practice. We will find a solution.
Yeah.
Found one 25 years ago with Navis, and that worked well. So this should also work well.
Mm-hmm.
But no, it's especially this user interface stuff that is very hard to get right.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. It has to unambiguously convey what what's going to happen when somebody clicks on something, and unambiguously collect their intent. Um, so even if the user thinks, oh, this was unambiguous, it says that when I do this, that's going to happen. But then, you know, that same series of actions could have meant something different. Then, yeah, it gets confusing. So.
User interfaces. I went to a shop not so long ago, and now all the cashiers are replaced by computers, and you have to to um, to do the counting yourself and pay. So there was a big screen and in big letters. Put all the articles that you bought in the bin below with an arrow right down.
Yeah.
I looked, there was nothing. 1 meter further, there was a bin.
Yeah. Yeah. Somebody designed that interface with a certain context in mind, and say, oh,
Yeah,
the
but
real world was different.
I'm not surprised that people are confused.
Yeah.
Yeah? I mean, it's so.
Mm-hmm.
I asked the guy, why you make it like that? But yeah, it was not he.
Like, man, I'm lucky to
He
still
went,
work here. I was the one person who wasn't replaced by these machines.
yeah, because he's there to tell everybody, no, not there, but there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we solve a user interface problem by hiring a person,
Mhm.
or not hiring a person, but
Okay.
keeping that person around.
Okay. The hour is gone already.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Good. I will think and try to make something out of this. See how
Very
far
good.
we go
Yep.
and which problems pop up again.
Yes. Yes, and
Okay.
yeah, I'm thinking next week I will have some Game Hub stuff, because I'm running the first Game Hub cohort starting the Tuesday after our next meeting. So
Okay.
I should be prepared at that point. If
All
not,
right.
I'll have a
Looking
busy weekend.
forward. Back to your Origins games.
Yes. Yeah, that's true.
Mm. Okay. Then looking forward to next Thursday.
All right. I will see you then.
Thank you very much for all the ideas, Michael, for all the advice, and see you Thursday.
My pleasure. See you then. Bye,
Okay.
y'all.
Bye bye.